Hey everybody, welcome back to Quali-Tea time, and it's been a little bit of an eventful week. So, first thing that happened is that if you haven't heard, Fuzz unfortunately came down with a form of norovirus, as near as we can tell, which is basically a stomach bug that's been going around. I apparently am impervious as always, but that meant they've been pretty much bedridden for most of the last week. So they're working up their appetite. Their fever has pretty much gone completely at this point, but they're still very, very drained and getting back on their feet. But after that, this past Sunday, my brain is terrible with dates. So this past period of time, we had Mother's Day over here in the UK, which is part of our Easter kind of cycle, so that's when that happens. Which meant that I got to see my mumsy in a lovely little coffee shop that we have in town, and managed to grab this nice little slightly artistic photo. My mum has herself actually been branching into photography recently, so I'm kind of interested to see what she comes up with. Then, after that, I went and saw my paternal grandmother. Now, I don't get a lot of time to see various members of my family. I'm in a different city to all of them. I don't have a car, so I can't really drive anywhere as I wish, and of course, this keeps me very busy. But seeing my grandma was a very important thing to me because my grandparents, especially, it seems, are basically built like tanks, which is maybe where I get it. In that they will take on pretty much anything. My grandfather, on the same side, has actually had a heart attack whilst driving, pulled over, called up my grandma to say, "I don't feel well, I'm going to drive home." My grandmother obviously didn't take this very well. But there is a clip that has been sat in my raw footage since the 12th of December 2015, because on that night I received some rather unfortunate news. It is presently just past 3 PM on the 12th of the 12th, 2015. I woke up about an hour ago. I had a fairly late night and was asleep for a fair bit. And I got a phone call from my dad, who lives some 30 minutes, an hour away. And I honestly thought he was just calling about the little dongle I've been using to connect to the internet, because our internet is not being installed for another 5 days or so. But he told me something that I honestly never expected I would ever have to hear. Not even so much in a "this only ever happens to other people" kind of thing, but in just a "my family is built like oxes, we go senile long before anything medical can take us." He told me that my grandmother on his side, my grandma Carol, who is 75 or somewhere in that region, never ask a woman her age, of course, who is the tiniest, loveliest, most grandmotherly stereotype you could possibly hope to ever meet. She apparently has pancreatic cancer. And we don't know how bad it is. She's getting a biopsy. We don't know exactly what that's going to turn up. But I don't know what to do in this kind of situation. I don't really even know how to feel. My brain, I think, is just trying to analyze it and come up with some kind of optimism, negativity kind of balance, figure out, okay, what can you do? And the answer in this is you can do very little. The answer is that here I am basically a bystander. I just get to watch. My grandmother lives in the same city as my dad, which is my hometown, has done my entire life, at least as far as I know. So she was often someone that would be looking after my brother and I after school, or babysitting us, and all that kind of thing. We'd always see her at all of the family gatherings. And now I'm faced with the prospect that this might be her last Christmas. That I might have already had my last birthday with her. I might have already seen her last birthday. I imagine a lot of people would be just plain in tears right now. I haven't cried for over a decade, and I'm still not entirely certain why I'm not crying right now, but I don't know, I just feel kind of inert. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to let you all see, let you all know. Jump past that to Christmas this past year in 2016, and I haven't seen my grandmother in a while. I know she's been on chemotherapy, I don't know what's been going on, I don't know how it's been going, I still have very little contact with anybody. My brother plans a get-together for my dad's side of the family, and various things come to pass, and despite the fact that I am begged to attend, I'm not able to make it. This understandably did not go over well with me because it meant that I didn't get to see my grandmother, who, as far as my brain was considered, could be gone at any instant. Because I had not seen her in ages, I had no idea what was going on. As far as I knew, every time I saw her could have been the last, and that is a terrifying kind of situation to be in. So that's been sort of at the back of my mind for about the past last 3 months. But I finally managed to find some time and some finance and some all other things to go pop home to the old homestead and see my grandmother. And I have learned that we have some rather positive news. Now, my grandmother had to go through 2 rounds of chemotherapy, had to have a surgery, but experienced an experimental project, which was not informed was experimental to begin with, so that's questionable, but I'm kind of going to be okay with it here, called an IRE, also known as a nano knife, and the easiest way I can describe it is that they go in and electrocute individual cells. She describes it as she went under, she woke up, and she felt nothing. They kept asking if she wanted painkillers, and she kept saying, no, what pain? But not to jinx anything, fingers crossed this is the case. She's got a few more checkups, but it appears, for the time being, that she is actually cancer-free. And that is a huge weight off my mind. She's taking this as a new lease on life. She came to the conclusion after the surgery, rightfully so, that however much health she has left, and I'm going to say at least 30 years, because we're fairly long-lived folks, she's going to stop putting off things and she's going to go do them and all sorts. So she's living life to its fullest a bit more. I don't know how my granddad's taking this, because my granddad might be into posh cars and stuff, but he goes a little bit slower. So it's going to be interesting to see how those two get around in the next few years. But that is my good news. Other than that, it is the last week of March, so if you happen to be not as yet subscribed to the Patreon at patreon.com/lying, this is your last week before a new round goes through. Now, of course, you can subscribe at any point in time because we currently have on-demand payments, so you sign up, you pay immediately, and then off you go. If you upgrade, you pay the difference. But next week, we'll be looking at getting in some new rewards, so that's what you're going to be interested in. If you subscribe right now, then you get 2. Yay for that. Other than that, though, on to the schedule. On Thursday, it's an episode of The Lost Hands, as we meet a new, very interesting member of the Inquisition. And we also have midnight at 11 PM BST, now that we've changed through our summer timings. We'll be playing some more Dark Souls, and presumably dying a lot more. This time there are spiders. Ugh. On Friday it's an episode of Dungeon Maker, as Lying is out for revenge. But this time he's got backup. On Saturday at 9 PM BST over twitch.tv/dragonhat, it is tentatively a Dungeons & Dragon Hat session. Failing that, we might have a live we might have a live streamed podcast, or I might be doing some more Overwatch. Either way, head on over and we'll see what comes up. On Monday it's an episode of Spring Realms. Then on Tuesday it's an episode of Edgington, as we talk about why I'm so preferential towards dwarves in fantasy settings. We also have, hopefully, Yogdo's Live number 80 at 9 PM BST over twitch.tv/lyinginbedmon. Lastly for the week, on Wednesday, it is Maiding Do, where we are talking about the maid's travel plans. And onto the questions. So as usual, these are drawn from the comment section of the preceding video. However, we had very few comments on the last video for some strange reason, so I don't actually have much in the way of questions. However, I do have an interesting little discovery. You see, this right here, this tiny thing that you can only barely see on the camera, is a 64 gigabyte micro SD card, and it goes with the GoPro. And the GoPro I recently used to get that shot you saw in the opening of my mum on Mother's Day. And I was going through the photos, and I noticed that there's a little folder on this called MC_backup, in which there is a pair of folders called main and modding. And inside of those folders are folders called screenshots. And going through them, I discovered that there are some screenshots of Minecraft worlds that I last used sometime around 2011. Now this was startling in and of itself, but I also noticed that next to the screenshots folders, there were saves. So there are Minecraft worlds somehow on this SD card, which I've owned for maybe 2 years or so, from 6 years ago. So I thought it would be interesting to boot those worlds up and see just what it's like in there. So, let us see what the main world has for us. Okay. Oh, dear God. Oh, okay. Well, first thing I notice is that this is... Oh, criminy. This is one of my early test worlds. One of my really, really early test worlds. Sort of. This... Before you have the option of creating custom world generation, what I did was I would create a world. Usually I'd play in it for a bit, and then I would start to hack in things using MC Edit and Inventory Edit way back in the day before creative mode existed. Oh god, we've got the old lava texture. Wow. This, I believe, was an effort in making a quad cobblestone generator. Oh, I recognize this. This is an old day-night sensor, I think. No, it's a double piston extender, I think. Now, bear in mind, I played before, and I think this world actually predates itself. Before... Yeah, it is a day-night sensor. Before pistons and repeaters existed. Oh, and I know what this is. It's a dugout. You would come in here, you'd flip the switch. After standing on that, it goes down instantly. And then you would shoot out of here to target enemies that were coming along and stuff. And I've got a version of it over here, built in the wild, if you will. And I'll bet you this has no sprinting. Oh boy, or wonky sprinting. Yeah, that's mostly hacked. Oh, what was I trying to do here? I think this was trying to make a bypass on a rail line so you could choose which way you went. At a wild guess, I have no idea. I think it was a system just to make sure carts didn't run into one another, or... But just... Already, this is quite nostalgic, to say the least. Oh, and that I think is from when maps first became a thing, because that was about the only way you could get anything to register. And... Oh, there's clearly some issues here, but looks like a creeper test of some kind. Evidently it suffered some damage. And if we go over here, I think we'll get to the meat of things. Oh yeah, yeah. This is the part where it was previously a survival world. Now this is not my first world, I should state. My first world doesn't exist anymore, at all. So we just have, like, younger worlds. But, this is pretty dang close to one of the longest played versions of Minecraft that I've played, especially in terms of worlds. This, I want to say, is a gate. It looks like a gate, but let's see what happens. Yeah, it's just a gate. It's just a door. Way back when. I don't know why I made this, but I don't remember much of anything from this world. And what is in here? Oh yeah, just more hack supplies. Oh, we've evidently got biomes shifting. And there's something over there that's probably worth investigating in a little bit, but I think this is where the bulk of yeah. Jeez, you remember when doors and signs didn't stack, or needed empty buckets, I think, yeah. Wow. And that's my nether portal, which I locked and guarded, even though it was a single-player world, just in case something came through, because there was the old myth that gas would come through it. And this is my super secret entryway into my actual location there, because... Oh dear god, yeah, I thought that might be interesting. Why do I have Notch's face? I don't know, but I apparently do, and this was definitely a different biome back in the day, but... Wow. Okay, evidently I saw fit to make Notch's face way back in the day when Notch still worked on Minecraft. Look, there we go. Is there anything up the top here, or is it just... I think it's just here. Okay. I don't actually have any food on me, is my first concern here. And yeah, the place is just freezing over. We've entered the Ice Age in the time I've been away. Oh, but let me see, this is... this might... well, I'm trying to think. Would this be before Nether Fortresses? Not sure. It is definitely before the end, though. That part I can say with abject certainty. But if we... Oh god, I know what this is. Okay, so... before mods were particularly easy to establish at any kind of degree, I installed Dr. Zark's Mo Creatures mod. And in there was bunnies that I captured. But eventually the mod broke, so I replaced it with a pig spawner. And it's just... like... I know this. This predates Nether Expedition by a fair ways. And that's evidently, in case you... I don't know. I don't know. But it comes down to here. Oh, wow. Oh, geez, the old storage solutions. Yeah, cheated inventory by this point, I know. But, you know, I was working on stuff. A little reed farm there. This, I want to say, was my attempt to make a signal system that ran along a rail line so you could send signals one way and back. But, of course, this predates repeaters, which is why it's got the old double torch method, and oh, I like that. I like that. What do we have? Did I ever put anything at the end of this? Was there ever actually a purpose to this tunnel? I don't think that there was. I feel like it went further and then I glitched something in MC Edit or some such, but no, it doesn't look like there was actually anything here. Now, the bookcases in this stage, completely useless, because this is before enchanting existed. So there was no purpose in having them, there was no way of making Silk Touch, so you had to pick it up, or avoid picking it up if you wanted to use Smooth Stone at all, or just as an ideal, turn it into being into smelting, that's the word I'm looking for. This is before I started my old, my old, like, central crafting kind of system, where I usually have, like, 8 furnaces arrayed around a crafting bench. Don't tell me. We have one record, and it's 13. And it don't work, apparently. Okay. What's that? We have that, apparently. Okay. My old bed. And what was... I was growing wheat. Wow, and that's... yeah, that's... back in the day, before they even had particles for it, we actually had a little patch of non-falling sand over here, so I replaced that. Oh, and I hear skeletons. Can we sleep? Can only sleep at night. Okay. Now, there's not... because there wasn't much in the way of... is there any food down here? Out of curiosity. Was I smart enough to cheat in some food? So, oh god, the old pork chop texture. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna grab some of this. I wonder if this even predates hunger, come to think of it. But, oh, this is already a wild choice, at least. Let's go see what the hell side of things look like, shall we? Ooh. Okay. This almost certainly was cheated. Yeah, we've got all the glass. Ah, hell, sweet hell. Is there a... Yeah, there you are. I see you. Because ghasts can't see you through glass, so I figured that was the perfect thing to make, even if they could blow it the heck up. I don't think I even got anywhere around here. I think I just came in, stole some glowstone, and left, because there really wasn't much to do right around the time of the Halloween update. So you came into this world that was full of fire and death, and you just had no reason to stay for more than 10 minutes. And then they added the Nether Fortresses, and you had more reason to come in here, and they added Nether Quartz as well. And they made Endermen spawn in here eventually, and Wither Skeletons, and all sorts. Yeah, you didn't really ever have a reason to stick around until more recently. But I've just realised what was going on in my life when I was playing this map. Oh god, that set me right up. Okay, okay, for those of you who don't know, because this might be a story for some of you, I guess, something new. Around about 2010, 2011, I was engaged to a wonderful, magnificent girl, and I was playing on this world, and tinkering around with stuff, and figuring some stuff out, and I think this might have been the year... I think 2011 might have been the year in which, things got really bad. And I haven't spoken to her in a very, very long while, suffice it to say. But just... I remember this. Because I remember pillaring up like this and sending a screenshot of this little pool of water to her because it was shaped like a heart. Is durability in this, I wonder? No durability yet. So my diamond tools don't even have the hot tips to like tell you what they are or anything. But just from a calmer, happier time in my life, we've just come all the way back, and I can't believe it took me that long to remember it. And I eventually managed to hook her into playing it as well. Not this world, we didn't have a multiplayer or anything. But I did eventually get her to play about in Minecraft for a bit, mostly when she was alone and bored. But, and then since then, since that rather unfortunate and very depressing downturn, I've had many worlds. I made Nether Expedition. I made Night of Fangs, Chaosville, Yokai Temple. I'm doing Mating Do right now. And I've had other partners. In fact, I believe I have had at least a couple. And now I'm currently seeing Fuzz, of course. And this world saw so many changes. Pistons didn't exist. Repeaters didn't exist. Comparators definitely didn't exist. They still don't in this version. And Minecraft is still here in my life. I'm not sure what's triggering this. Oh, it's just a very long... Use the old ways that we did timers. Dropping into it like it's lava. A weird system. And this was old, choose which way you want to go kind of system. I'm still doing redstone. This might be an open memory latch. Sorry, I'm getting distracted, but can you blame me? Can you blame me for getting distracted here? All the RNG. Stick something in there, it would get popped out there and drop down eventually. Not fast, but hey, it worked. And if it was an arrow, it wouldn't get picked up by the water. It is so bizarre to realize how long I've been playing this game, and to realize what's come and gone in my life. And I'm still here. And what's more, I'm doing even more. I'm playing this game even more now. I'm doing so much more with it. The stuff I do in the June specials blows all of this out of the water. The stuff I do in just regular plays completely destroys everything here. It's utterly wrecked. But just... you know, it's nice. It's nice to come back and realize there are some really, really rough parts in your life. And the things that make you happy then, and the things that made you happy before then, and are probably going to be the things that make you happy way after. And just... is that the sound of a squid? Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah, it's the sound of squid, because they walk. I'm hearing squid walk on the dirt underneath here. But yeah, I'm just... I knew that coming back here would be emotional. I knew that coming back and seeing this stuff would kind of wreck me. But I genuinely had no idea what I was going to find here. It could have been my last world for all I knew. Or my first one, rather. But God, the things you'll do, the places you'll go, the people you'll meet. And I don't know where I'll be in another 6 years. I don't know what Minecraft will look like in another 6 years. Maybe I'll have even found something to utterly replace it, who knows. But just... wow. Anyways, I'm gonna start crying on camera from my cable, so... let's wrap this up, shall we? And that's it for today, so I hope you enjoyed that little ride. And, as always, I shall catch you all next time.